I really didn't think I was ever going to be getting any credit collection figures, but I was at the Frankenstein Collectibles show in California, and I stopped by the Toy Arena booth, which is one of my favorite booths to stop by. They have all of the Andor figures in stock right now. They have the Riot Scout Trooper from Jedi Survivor, and they also have the credit collection, which we saw revealed at San Diego Comic-Con just a few months ago, and I've never bought any credit collection figures, but something about these really caught my eye, and we will get to that in a second. But taking a look at the box, I do really appreciate the card art and the concept art that we see on the box here. I think that the cards are really beautiful. I've just never really liked the alternate deco, and I'm not really sure why they decided to do that. I think that just a straight re-release of the original figures with their original paint jobs would sell better, and that the card variant would be enough to entice collectors, just like the 40th anniversary releases from the original trilogy. Here I'm showing you how I open my bubble cards just to avoid damaging the card backs in case I do decide to save them. You can see there's almost no damage to the cards here. It's not perfect, but if you want to be an out-of-box collector, this is one way to protect your bubbles. The credits that they come with are very plastic feeling, they're very light, and they're identical, the two that come with Bo and Boba here. Looking at the weapons that come with Boba, they are a different paint job than the ones that we saw in the original Tython Boba figure. I prefer the original ones with a little bit of the gold details here. The credit collection one has some silver details on the gun, but it is mostly all just brown. I don't think that that's very interesting. Maybe it is true to the concept art though. The face print on this is really standing out to me, and we will do a comparison in a little bit to the original Tython Boba figure. Looking at the two robes, you can see the original color on the right. The cut is exactly the same. It looks like these are tailored exactly the same, so no improvements or changes there. If we pull this off him, we can see this alternate paint job here with a little bit of the beige over the shoulders. The art that's featured on the card back only shows him from behind, so I don't know if the beige was an artistic decision or if that was taken from an alternate concept art photo. Here we have the original Tython Boba, and look at the difference in the face print here. This is what made me buy this figure. It's really crazy how much better the one on the left is. In all three releases that we got with the head sculpt and paint job on the right, they all look the same, and they all were severely lacking in the face printing department, and the white scarring on the face was just way too much. I heard a lot of complaints about that. You can see that they have remedied most of that on the one on the left, and he has a little bit of a warmer skin tone. I think the one on the right is a little bit more accurate. Just because I love showing off customs, I'm going to grab this Boba with the throne room body that I did a little bit of customizing to, but this head is from Fett Clone, just to show you what a 10 out of 10 sculpt looks like with an incredible custom paint job. This really isn't the kind of paint that you can get in mass production like Hasbro does, but I just wanted to show this next to these other ones. But I'm going to do a head swap at the end with these two figures, so stay tuned for that. This Bo-Katan is an interesting figure because I was pretty unhappy with the original release, which we can see here on the left. I don't have it in hand because I customized the one that I have, but the colors of the leather are just so much more accurate in the credit collection one here, and I do really love the darker blues on the armor and the undersuit here. And then the helmet deco is a little bit more clean. Here's my customized Bo-Katan. This is a repaint of the Black Series head by Uncle Sam's Cantina on Instagram. And if I remember correctly from San Diego Comic-Con, at the panel they did say that she was going to have a new hair sculpt, but they didn't show it. And looking at these together, this is the identical sculpt. They didn't do any updates here, and the face printing looks pretty much the same. This is the original head on the right that came with the figure, and as far as I can tell, this is exactly the same. You can even see the same details in the hair sculpt. So as far as I can tell, these are exactly the same, and these were not updated, which is the second thing that Hasbro said at the panel that did not come true, the other one being that Grogu would have an alternate head in the box. So obviously I really love my custom Bo-Katan here, but we did darken all of that leather, and then the face has been repainted. And, you know, this credit collection one is not really going to have a spot on my shelf. If they had just re-released her with the darker blues and the darker leathers, I think this would be a much better figure than the original release, but they went and sprayed it with that yellow paint on the side. I don't know. I don't know who this is for. I don't really know anyone that's really big on the credit collection other than completionists that pretty much buy everything. But apparently this appeals to enough people because this is the third wave of credit collection figures that we've gotten, so I guess they know what they're doing when it comes to their sales data. Another custom I want to show you that I did using the Bo-Katan body and a Marvel Legends head. This is just a straight repaint of the body, obviously with like a chrome and black look here. I did see a user on Facebook that did this, and I tagged them in my story a while ago. I couldn't find that to give them proper credit, but I just love the way that that looks, and she used to hang out in my Jabba's Palace diorama. What's interesting is the Bo-Katan credit collection helmet has a different deco than the original release. You can see that the little circles and the graphic on the front is much smaller than it was on the original release. I thought that was pretty interesting because the Black Series helmet that Hasbro released, the wearable one, looks much more like the one on the right, so I don't know why that was updated. Maybe the concept art showcased some smaller details there. And now for the Boba Fett head swap. This is water that I just put in the microwave for 1 minute, and it's not too hot, but it's just definitely warm. I wouldn't want to submerge my hand in water at this temperature. You can see a little steam coming off it there. If we leave Boba in here, he's going to start having flashbacks, so we have to be careful not to do that. But I just wanted to show you in real time how long I leave them in. Not too long, it's quite simple. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pop the heads off here and use the paper towel for a little bit of extra grip and just to avoid drips onto my little paper backdrop here. Same thing on this one. Luckily these both popped off at the head and the necks didn't come with them. And then all we have to do while it's warm is pop the new head on just like that, and it's ready to go. Let's take a look at that. This to me is a huge improvement. I'm sure you will agree. We are missing a little bit of the scarring, but it's not that visible in the show. And this just feels like the figure that we should have got. This feels like a proper Black Series release. I don't know what went wrong with the face printing on the first couple of releases of this head sculpt, but it's a huge improvement. So if that's worth it to you, maybe it's worth getting this figure if you can find it on clearance. Please like this video if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments below if you'll be picking up any of the credit collection. I'm really interested to hear. I have a lot of new Black Series videos coming out very soon, so hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you all next time.